Hello, it's Killian here, and today I'm going to talk about persistent depressive disorder, also known as dysthymia. And it's a type of depression that isn't talked about as much, and it is what I have. Until I researched it, I'd never heard of it before, and a lot of people haven't heard of it. And it's type of depression that actually tends to last a lot longer than normal depression. It's like a low level but long lasting depression. Like it's where if you're in a depressive state, let's say your mood is like here, and then let's say when people at who aren't depressed are about like at this level most of the time, and obviously they'll fluctuate and stuff like that. Based on if they're in a good mood or if they're if they can go into a depression. But people with persistent depressive disorder or dysthymia tend to be at about this level at all times, and then sometimes, and of course, sometimes it'll be at a normal, not I say normal, but like at an average level, and then, but then sometimes I find it's a lot more common for us to go into a depressive state because it's not as far from a depressive state as most people. We just have a short distance between our normal mood and it tends to last a lot longer, and also people with dysthymia tend to go a very long time without getting treatment. I started having symptoms in like the 7th grade. I did not get treatment until last year. I am 22, I'm turning 23, and I did not get treatment until last year. So that's like, I don't feel like counting, but it's like 8 years without treatment. And that happens often with people with dysthymia, and it, like, as you can tell, it can last a long time. And yeah, it's I just wanted to talk about it because there aren't I haven't seen anyone really talk about it online. I mean, people talk about depression, but when it comes to dysthymia, it's not really talked about. And I think the reason that people with dysthymia often go untreated for a very long time is because it's a low-level depression and people don't think that it's depression. But like for me, I'm on medicine now, but like normally my mood is just kind of blah most of the time. It's not like horrible, like debilitating depression, though it does. I've gone into that once or twice. But it's just kind of like a blah kind of mood at all times, all the time. Yeah, and so like but like the symptoms are pretty much the same as an just depression. Like no motivation, because I really don't have my last medication. It didn't even help my motivation. Like it helped my mood, but didn't help my motivation. And this new medication, it should, based on the differences. Like it might. I've only been on it for a short time, but I'm hoping for the best. Yeah, and I the other, like, obviously it has pretty much the same symptoms as depression, just I guess like the mood ones are at a little higher than a depressive when you're in a depressive state. And everything else is the same. Like my lack of motivation is so extreme that the reason why like I don't make videos very often is because when I'm pretty much at a like disgusting level of hygiene, because I have no made like my motivation. I cannot motivate myself to shower, and sometimes I can't motivate myself to go upstairs and eat, and motivating myself even to brush my teeth sometimes is like difficult. And yeah, so I have yellow teeth. You can't tell in the video because of the extreme light, but yeah, I'm pretty bad hygienically, and it really does affect a lot of luckily I've had friends that I actually have had I have had a lot of friends. I really have never had a shortage of friends despite my bad hygiene. Um, and like, but at the same time, like I don't want to be like this. And yeah, like just I've suffered from a lot of self-hate. Self-hate. Yeah, I've definitely suffered from self-hatred a lot when I was before I realized that this was dysthymia, because I just thought I was lazy and disgusting and just like gross. And so like that often can happen with dysthymia because it's a lower level depression. People don't think it's depression, so they don't, you know, go to a psychologist, and they keep on thinking that they're just lazy, they're just gross, they're just a downer, basically. Um, and yeah, like I just think that we could benefit from having a lot more dysthymia awareness. Yeah, that's what I'd call it. Um, because I've seen a lot of posts online talking about like how they feel these ways, but like they have a lot of the same symptoms of depression, but they're like, but I don't know if I'm depressed or not, because I never feel that sad or to that level. And yeah, it's like it kind of sucks. It really, really does, because I mean, I can tell you, I went through all of high school and 2 years of university with untreated dysthymia, and it is not great. I mean, like, I've always been a good student, like, even with my lack of motivation and my anxiety, that like a pretty bad school-related anxiety that also has been untreated, um, because I kept on associating it with social anxiety, which I definitely do not have. Um, and yeah, but yeah, like I still get, I'm still an A student, um, even with my like procrastinating until like the very last minute. Um, yeah, like so it's been okay for me. It's not been as horrible, but I mean, it's still not great. Like, it just makes me think of like what my potential could have been if, you know, I'd gotten treatment and like much earlier, because then I'd actually have the motivation and the energy to be able to work on my, like, actually work hard. And and yeah, like with my basically low level effort, and that I was able to, you know, do anyway, um, like I could have done much better, and that just kind of pisses me off that I really wish I would have known, and I really wish that I'd have sought treatment much earlier. But I had a friend who I had a crush on die when I was in the 6th grade, so I just thought that the depression was, I just thought that I was depressed because of that, and I mean, that may have triggered it initially, but it went, the sadness and stuff, like, that's when I think I went into like a real depressive state, like, completely. And but it lasted so long that I think I was, after it kept on going and going, even when I knew that I was over, like I was like getting over, I knew that I wasn't still caught up in it, but I was still sad, I was still kind of not great, and I just, like, at that point I think I already realized that, like, this is not about grieving, but I still did not seek treatment because I still didn't think that it was, I just thought that that was me, that was my personality, and yeah, it's really kind of too bad. Yeah, this has been a very long video. I kind of rambled for a while. Anyway, so yeah, just, I think it's, if you have dysthymia, spread the word, talk about it, because there really isn't a lot of visibility. And I think that people with dysthymia could definitely benefit from people from knowing about what dysthymia is, because if you don't know what it is, a lot of the time you'll just write it off as your personality or a character defect, or, you know, like, just something wrong with you. And I bet there's a lot of people with dysthymia who are suffering from a lot of self-hatred. Yeah, so just spread the word, because even mental health channels, I do watch one or two. Even them, I've never seen really any of them talk about dysthymia, or, like I said, it's also known as persistent depressive disorder. Yeah, look, I haven't seen any of them talk about it, and it's really a shame. Anyway, I think that's about it. Bye!